Here are some crazy stats on the transfer portal. I'm going to stay as much out of the way as possible here, but here's what's really interesting. If you look up top, okay, for this is from 1920, 20 to 21, and 21 22 academic cycle, who entered the transfer portal and who is getting placed in a school. So this does not mean Division 1 A, which is FBS or FCS. It could be Division 2, it could be Division 3. Okay, and I don't know if they're taking NAIA into account. But basically, if you look all the way at the bottom, because I think the first two, it just shows that there's a lot of people continuing to grow and enter in portal. Went from 4757 to 8200, almost doubling in 21-22, and it may double this year as well, or come close to that, another 20-30% at least. What you see is basically 40% of the athletes being placed. The question is, okay, that means there's 60% of players that enter the transfer portal. Do they go back to their school or do they go nowhere? That's an important statistic we need to know with the transfer portal to see if it's successful. Because they have the ability to go back to their school, does the school take them back? Is that still an option, or is that a gone thing? 40%. So if you decide to transfer, you only have a 40% chance of being placed. Now, that takes out of account probably 20% of the players that are no brainers that are going to be placed somewhere no matter what, right? So really the rest of the 80% people, you're talking 20%. So you're in a range of only 20% of the athletes being able to be placed in the transfer portal, because if you take the 20% out that are going to be no brainers, that's a very small amount that actually gets somewhere. So you really have to be a guy to get placed at a really high level. And then short of that, you're going to have to dig to find a home. You have to dig to find a home. So you're really going to have to do some work there in a very short time period. These stats are a little bit misleading because it's trying to show the positive 40%, but there's 60% on the flip side. What do you think about the transfer portal? It's definitely a controversial thing. There's pros and cons.